Hi. This video is going to be really bad quality, but there's nothing I can do about that. Um, at this current moment, I was going to film this much earlier. In fact, I was going to film a completely different video today, but that didn't really wind up happening the way I had planned, and so now we film this video. Today is January 5th, 2021, and today I'm going to tell the camera what it's like to miss someone. Because I have a feeling that I'm going to be doing that a lot in the coming future. And I don't know. Anyone who's ever existed, anyone who's ever been alive, which is anyone watching this, probably can tell you that it sucks to miss someone. That they don't like missing people, but that it does happen. Um, I think it's a feeling everyone can relate to because everybody has missed people before. It's just, there's different kinds of missing someone, the same way I think there's different kinds of love. Um, you can miss the smallest things about someone. You can miss their touch, even. You can miss looking into their eyes. You can miss talking to them. You can miss their smile. You can miss behaviors that they would do. You can miss anything, and you can miss everything. You can miss just knowing that they're in the room next to you. You can miss just them being there. You don't even have to interact with them. You just have to miss their presence. It's so easy to miss people. And I feel like most people don't really appreciate the people that they have when they have them. And I think we're all guilty of it. I'm sure that I am too. Also, this background is terrible. Sorry about that. Today's video is just gonna be shit. So, they're all shit though. Is it really that surprising? They're all shit. But yeah, it's it's terrible to miss someone. It's absolutely awful. And if you've ever been in a situation with someone where when you see them, you know that you're not going to be able to see them again for a long time or possibly ever, it doesn't make it any better. Knowing that you will not see someone for a long time or that it might be your last time seeing them, the only thing that it really does is it lets you know that it's time to say goodbye. That's the thing. In life, we don't really know when to say goodbye to people. We don't know when is the right time, and we don't often get to say our goodbyes. The only good thing about knowing when someone's gonna go is that you get to say goodbye. But it doesn't make it easy, and it doesn't mean you're prepared. There's a million different ways that I, as a person, can miss someone. And I would say that I'm very well versed on the topic because I miss a lot of people and I miss them all the time. There are so many people that just live rent free in my mind, and that's just the way it is. And you can miss a person and not only miss them, you can miss the time that they're associated with. You know, like a childhood friend of mine that I remember playing with in my backyard when I was really, really small. I don't just miss her, I miss the time period that I can't speak. I miss the time period that she's associated with. I miss childhood. I miss playing with her. But in a weird way, I kind of wish that I had known. I wish that I had known the last time that I was going to go outside and play with my friends that day. And I I wish I knew. I feel that way about a lot of people. Like I wish I had known that this was going to be the last time I did X, Y, and Z with them. I think about that a lot when I'm in moments. I think, what if this is the last time I see them? What if this is the last time I do this with them? What if this is the last time this happens? And you can't really let it consume you, but I do think it is a good thought to have in the back of your mind. Because thinking, what if this is the last time, it makes you realize how special it is. But yeah, there's a million different ways that you can miss people, and it can be very lonely at times. It's honestly hard because with some people, with some situations, you forget that you miss them. You go throughout life and you're just enjoying life and you're doing whatever it is you're doing, your daily tasks, and then you stop and you're like, oh, wait, somebody who should be here right now is not here right now. And then you're like, oh, that's a problem. And then you're like, wait, I can't do anything about that. But it hurts nonetheless. It's like you remember how much you miss them all over again. It's like they've left all over again every time you remember them. It's like you're going about your day, you're going about your life, and then all of a sudden you remember that they exist. Something reminds you of them, something happens, or you just think, wow, this is a beautiful moment. I wish they were here to share it with me. And then you realize they should be here and they're not. So when that happens, it's like they left for the first time all over again. I remember the time I had said goodbye to one of my childhood best friends. Um, it was at the start of high school for us. She was leaving off to New York, and I knew then and there that that was going to be the last time I saw her, possibly ever again. And if not ever again, then for a very long time. I still haven't seen her face to face since then. um, and I remember holding her in this bowling alley because she had a going away party at a bowling alley. And I remember we cried. It was sad. I remember we're both like, oh, I'm gonna miss you. This is not great. But it's weird because when she was leaving, I knew then and there that I wasn't just gonna miss her. I was going to miss the time period in my life that she's associated with. I knew that that was the end of middle school, that was the end of a lot of the friends that I had. I knew that it was the end of a whole lot of things. Because when someone important is in your life, they're not just a person, they're a whole life force, they're a whole nother person that's leaving. Meaning, it's not just a person that's leaving, it's your life. Your whole life is leaving with them, especially when you're really close with someone. It's just the amount of impact that one person can have on another cannot be understated by any means. There are certain people that have affected me in big ways, and that's everyone. People are much more important than I give them credit for. Yeah. There's one person that I miss a lot right now, and I've missed her a lot since I was very little. She was a person that I was very close with growing up, and she had to leave. She had to. It wasn't her choice. But when that happened, I only saw her after that like maybe once every year or two. I haven't seen her in like a while though, and it hurts. And it hurts because there was once a time where there wasn't a day that I didn't see her. There was once a time that she was in my life every day, and she got to watch me grow up partially. And when she stopped getting to watch me grow up, that sucked. Because that's what I mean when I say, oh, wait, there's somebody that's not here that should be here. And I think it can hit you really hard at night too, or anytime you're trying to sleep, anytime you're alone with your thoughts, anytime you're not running the marathon of life. Because during the day, we have lives, we have work, we have school, we have reasons to put on a face and to be smiley and get ready in the morning. We have reasons, we have things that we need to do. And we don't have necessarily the time to grieve the people that we need to grieve because we're too busy running marathons and doing the daily tasks. And so, yeah, there are times, and more often than I'd like to admit, where you just sob for someone. You just cry so hard. You just, if you haven't really been able to deal with it during the day, you're gonna deal with it at night and you're gonna lose sleep over it. Missing someone hurts, and it's a pain that I wouldn't wish on anyone. But in a weird way, the pain is kind of nice in certain aspects because the pain almost reminds you of, wow, I really can love someone. Or it reminds you of how amazing your time with them really was. I think something that I'm going to find in the future is that every time in my life, no matter how great, no matter how dark, I think is special. Because there's people in each time period, each phase of my life that I'm going to miss. And I can never go back. Whenever you've lived something, you've lived it, it's over. You can't go back. And so, in my memory, I think there's going to be a lot of people that I'll forever miss. And not even just them, but the time period that they create around them. I'm sure many, many years from now, if I live to be very, very old, I'd like to. I don't know if I will. I probably won't live to be very, very old. But if I do, that'd be great. I'm sure at that point, I will miss so many people. And my hope is that missing someone stops being sad and starts being more of a reminder of what happiness they brought me. Anything negative can be made positive, anything old can be made new. Our universe is a very changing universe. As much as I don't like change, and oftentimes it gets thrusted upon me instead of welcomed in, I don't think I'd be too disappointed if I stopped seeing missing someone as a sad thing and started seeing it as a kind remembrance. Well, I just want anyone who sees this to know that if you miss someone, that in a way you're lucky. It means you love them. I honestly didn't think love was real for a long time. I still have my debates on it. Sometimes I'm like, I don't know, maybe. But I think the sadness you feel from missing someone kind of reminds you that it is 100% real. If you miss someone, just let yourself sit in the feeling, but know that you're lucky. I know it doesn't sound like you're lucky, but you're lucky. You're very lucky to love someone. Okay, enough sappy, sad bullshit for one day. I can't believe I'm gonna put this on the internet. Oh my god.